Our third team to present today is farmVal. Student presenters here are Ashley Bacalso, Shiang-Wan and Tamara Sato.
So I'm Ashley.
I'm Shang.
And we're farmVal. Julia Child once said, "Any meal without wine, with the possible exception of breakfast, is uncivilized." Wine and hospitality go hand in hand. So think back to that last glass of wine you had. What made it so good? Was it the full-bodied mouthfeel, or was it that astringent, smoky flavor? But did you know for that one glass of wine, it took 6 glasses of water to produce? And 60% of the water used for irrigation is wasted because of the inefficiency in water measurement. We talked to over 50 growers, and this is what they told us. Vineyards use too much water, and they know it. They utilize labor-intensive or inaccurate methods to measure water use dating back to the 1970s. In order to adapt to climate change, they need real-time and predictive methods. Think about it this way. An older car has a gas gauge telling you how much gas you have left, but doesn't translate, gas gauge you have, but doesn't translate to how much further you can go. Unlike in newer cars that tells you that you have 10 miles left. Just like a newer car, we give farmers the insights they're missing. We give them actionable next steps with artificial intelligence and sensors to manage vineyard irrigation. Currently, farmers spend $100 an acre in annual water costs. But with farmVal's precision irrigation, we have scientifically proven that we can achieve a 40% savings in water consumption through monitoring water stress. So what is water stress? Plant water stress is a state where a plant is growing in non-ideal growth conditions, such as not having enough water during a drought. Plant water stress influences the yield, quality, and plant health of the grape. However, climate change accounts for 8 to 27% of severe weather events, making it hard to control for water stress. For example, the biggest drought in California history spanned from 2011 to 2019, killing hundreds of millions of plants. There are 3 problems. First, labor shortage is plaguing the wine industry, leaving grape growers struggling to maintain high-quality farming practices without the support of an ample workforce. Second, water scarcity in drought environments causes a 47% average fruit loss. And third, suboptimal irrigation, such as drone imaging, inaccurately infers water stress. Current methods are either too labor-intensive or insufficient, which will only intensify as regulation and water use increases. For example, in California, there's a legislation fining farmers $500 for using more than their entitled water right. I'll now hand it over to Shang to let you know what we have in store.
Thanks, Ashley. So, farmVal's solution is a hardware and software application for real-time precision irrigation achieved through automation and an app. Guys, it's not your grandpa's farm anymore. So, through my PhD research group, this technology was created based on 10 years of research with over $2 million in research funds and 2 patents. This hardware is non-damaging and placed on the crop to directly measure plant water stress. The breakthrough here is that we can just use one sensor on a vine, which acts as a sentinel tree, indicative of the water stress of all other vines within a 20-acre watering plot, just one. So our software is split into 2 components. First is analytics. With the climate change, the future is dominated by weather. So we use it as one of our proxies in determining water need. For example, how it will rain tomorrow determines how we should water today. With access to historical and future weather data, we train our model to optimally irrigate water before it is too late, such as during a heat wave. Second is soil health, where we layer satellite imagery and train algorithms to determine the health of the soil, which is important to understand soil moisture. Through these 2 components, we achieve automated irrigation and take humans out of the loop. The IoT sensors shown on the left feeds water stress data into our computer, where we analyze weather forecast data to trigger the water valve to optimally release water to the crops. Bringing that all together, we have a simple and intuitive app that shows farmers real-time water levels and tells them when to water. The key here is the ease of delivery. With this sensor, you can set it and forget it. So our market size is 3-parted. First is the 18 million acre vineyard industry. This is the operational play because annual water costs are about $100 per acre, of which we save them 40% on, which translates to $36 million. In total, the market amounts to $720 million. And just zooming in on our initial market of California, New York, this translates to $36 million. Second is the $360 billion wine industry, who can now create a sustainable wine, which shows that studies show that customers are willing to pay 25% more on, and this equates to $90 billion. Third is the $600 billion hotel industry, who now can serve sustainable wines, and studies by McKinsey show customers are willing to pay 5% more on for 100% green hotels, which amounts to $30 billion. In total, our market is as large as $121 billion, just based on the value we bring to the vineyard, wine, and hotel industries. And so we have a subscription business model, generating $1,040 in the first year because we are factoring in hardware costs, and then $1,640 of recurring revenue that the years after, based on just one average grower. The bottom line is we increase revenue for farmers and increase quality, not just yield. And good quality translates back to that last cup of full-bodied, smoky glass of wine you just had. Now, let me hand it back to Ashley to tell you how exactly this impacts the farmer.
Thanks, Shang. So here at farmVal, we help farmers better match water application to demand. And through Cornell published research, we've proven that our software technology can increase water savings by 40%. And through studies done by University of Lethbridge, we found that precision irrigation increases yield by 20% and crop quality by 60%. And by crop quality, I mean the color and mouthfeel of the wine. So our impact is threefold. First is the carbon footprint. So farmVal reduces energy expenditures with more efficient irrigation practices, which account for up to 70% of agriculture emission, which leads to climate change. Second is labor shortage. FarmVal reduces labor costs by more than 25%, which is especially important in light of the current pandemic when workers are in short supply. And last, sustainable irrigation globally. FarmVal plays a key role in optimizing food production, ensuring global food supply meets the estimated 80% increase needed by the year 2050. I'll now hand it back over to Shang to let you know of some future opportunities.
Thanks, Ashley. Guys, this is exciting. This is just the beginning. Our technology is crop and geography agnostic. So originally, we started with a target of helping smallholder farmers in Africa, but we found a lack of infrastructure and data. So we pivoted to vineyards who have deep pockets and a history of investing in new technology. And further, my PhD research group is already building upon grapes and exploring luxury crops such as almonds, which require 1.1 gallon of water for just one almond. In addition, with the data we collect from vineyards, we can service wineries with unprecedented data about the quality of grapes they source and help regulators and municipalities who closely monitor vineyard water usage. And so we started about 1 year ago, meeting and winning at the Digital Agriculture Hackathon at Cornell. Since then, we've partnered with Microsoft, completed the General Catalyst Accelerator, and landed our first customer in California. Further, we hope to build upon our technology platform for our official product launch in June. But we need your help. Money from this competition will allow us to capture more of the market by deploying more field tests for various grape varieties, and to diversify by entering other crops, which we've estimated will cost about $10,000 per crop. So starting from a simple hackathon to trying to put data behind the quality of a wine, our team is composed of engineers, hoteliers, and viticulturists. Just to highlight a few of our talented team, for example, myself, I studied at UC Davis in my undergrad studying agriculture economics, and combined with my PhD in digital agriculture here at Cornell, I studied at the two greatest viticulture schools in the world. And Ashley, she specializes in consumer behavior, and with her degree in industrial labor relations, she understands how to work with farmers. And really, to sum it all up, there are 3 reasons why we can all get behind FarmVal: technology, impact, and better wine. Here's a toast to you, and wish you're all here with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, nice work, team. Very dynamic presentation. So I just had a couple of questions for you, and I want to start with looking at the competitive landscape. You did a nice job of kind of laying out who your competitors are. And when I went through that, I looked at Joule as kind of the closest to what you guys are doing. They're already out in market. So if you would just kind of focus on them a little bit and just explain some of the advantages and disadvantages that farmVal brings to the table versus Joule.
Absolutely. So by Joule, you mean Tool.
Tool, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So they measure water stress using evapotranspiration. And so that's a little bit of a different method. farmVal, with the water stress sensors, we have a higher accuracy than evapotranspiration. Just the method's just a little bit different. And the thing with Tool is that they don't measure frequency in real time. So the feedback that farmers are getting about their irrigation systems becomes daily, whereas farmVal, our water stress sensors is continuously. So they can constantly check up on it every minute. They can check on it. And then with the algorithm, be able to know what exact levels the water stress should be at if a farmer goes in and like takes the recording. Whereas Tool, as I mentioned, is not. It's a lot more short range as well.
So as a follow-up, what's the incremental benefit to the farmer to have real-time data versus something that, I mean, as a layman in this field, like to me, daily is like, okay, I get it every day. I probably am not going to react in real time, but so what's the benefit there for the farmer?
The benefit for that is that whenever plants get stressed, it's very important to know all the conditions live. And this is just because during the day, like say the sun is the hottest at 12 p.m. But according to like this climate, it'll be 2 p.m. So daily, as opposed having it real time allows farmers to know the exact position, the exact timing of everything, so that they can reproduce the same grapes at the exact same stress levels. So the consistency here is key to all of it.
Yeah, and just a little bit to add to that. So water stress is really important because this controls the flavor and tasting quality of your wine. And every farmer has a different set point for how much water stress they want. So something like Tool, you can't actually use that for every single farmer because they all have different set points of what they want for optimal stress levels for their plants.
Okay. All right. And then just and then we'll move off of this topic, but Tool, like cost per, look, you guys are kind of basing your cost to the farmer around this 20-acre geography, right? Mm-hmm. So your cost for a farmer in 20 acres versus Tool, do you guys have an idea of what that spread looks like? Are you more expensive, less expensive? What's the difference?
Yeah, so I don't think we have off the top of our head the exact numbers for Tool, but we've actually done customer discovery and interviewed a bunch of farmers, and we found that they on average spend about $50 an acre in digital technology investments. Mm-hmm. So based off of that, we've cut that in half to charge them about $25 per acre for our sensors and our entire package. So that's kind of the benchmark we've used, because a lot of things like Tool and these other competitors, they don't actually publish a lot of the numbers. You actually have to contact them to get price quotes. So that's kind of the baseline we've used.
Okay. All right. And then my kind of last area here, how confident are you guys in your financial statements and projections, would you say? Just quick, confident, not very confident, somewhere in the middle?
Yeah, that's a good question too. So for our financial projections, they sounded pretty good, especially before, as you probably can imagine, this pandemic. So based on those calculations, we were pretty confident. They are pretty low in cost because a lot of this has been covered by Cornell and our partnerships with different technology companies such as Microsoft. So because of that, we've been very fortunate, and also because of our network. So I'm originally from the Bay Area, have network at UC Davis. That's why we projected that a lot of those costs were very low. And we've done research too for the compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, for the digital technology industry. And we found that it's growing by about 16%, which is very exciting, and we think that it's going to only exponentially increase from there.
So, I mean, I would call your revenue projections wildly optimistic. To go from 0 to 11 million to 32 million to 64 million to 115 million. And so when I go through this income statement, I see things like cost of sales with inventory items in your income statement, which I feel like should probably be in a balance sheet. Your gross margins stay basically steady at 100% of your revenue, which would kind of infer zero cost of producing that revenue. And you're making these massive revenue jumps. And I guess I just don't understand like how you're going to scale that quickly.
Gotcha. Understood. So this is good clarifying questions. So first, for sure, I'm a PhD student in computer science engineering. So definitely finance is definitely not my main forte. But the reason why we have those numbers and those projections is that we quickly think that we can diversify. Maybe we can't capture the entire wine and beer industry, but we can quickly go to almonds, pistachios, alfalfa, and go across the country. And the key about this is it's actually very scalable based on, first, as we know with software and algorithms, it's very easy to custom tailor and tune it to different farmers and different crops. In addition to that, I want to just share something that's very interesting that we found we can do with our research. It's something called a digital twin. So after collecting about 5 years of data for one farm, we can actually take out those sensors from that farm because now we get data for the past 5 years and we train our algorithm based on that past data and feed in real-time weather and soil data, which we don't even have actually sensors on the ground for, to actually still produce or still offer our service for farmers to allow them to optimally irrigate farm for their desired water source levels for the best grape quality and yields. So that's also why we have lower sales costs years into the future. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Can I ask a question, Chris?
Yeah, please.
What I understand is that you're going to place the sensors, you'll own them, correct?
Correct.
And share in the profit. I have manufacturing plants, and I have a concern because sensors are notorious for going bad, developing leaks, even if they're supposed to be watertight. You don't seem to have any, and who installs them? Who's going to ensure they're installed properly? And getting people up to utilize it just seems that whole aspect of it is ignored, and there needs to be tech support,
right.
And I feel like that's missing.
Right. For sure, so good questions too. So firstly, in terms of these sensors and whether it's watertight, producing them, right now we're currently producing them here in the States. So they're pretty good in terms of quality and quality assurance. And we tested it on the actual crop and trees for many years, and they're actually very stable. We haven't found a time where it's actually gone bad, but we do offer a 100% money-back guarantee. So if our sensors don't work, or we don't save customers up to 40% in water savings, we will give them 100% of their money back. And in the future, we do hope to outsource kind of the cost of these sensors, producing them to places abroad, because currently it costs about $150. So that's kind of the future plans. And then further, in terms of how do you set this up? So it's awesome because through our customer that we have right in California and through customer discovery, we actually ship out our sensors in the mail and directly ship it to the farmer. And it takes, as crazy as it sounds, less than 5 minutes to install. You set it up, download our app, and it's plug and play. It is that simple. Besides that, we also do have customer support, tech support. So call us. We for sure will be 100% there at any time you need us. Maybe not like 3 a.m., but call us, email us. And if you are in the vicinity of the New York area currently, then we can go out and send one of our team members there to service and help you set it up. And that's also probably why we want more additional funding, because we'd like to hire a team member in California that can go out and service these wineries in that area.
But you only have $19,000 of salaries the first year.
Yeah. So question 2 here. I think especially for our team, we're very much impact mission driven. So a lot of us are doing this. It's not actually, it's all of us. I'll be honest. All of us are doing this without pay. You know, we see the value in helping solve the food shortage by year 2050. We love this problem. We feel very fulfilled by doing this currently right now. So because of that, and I think a lot of our networks are currently in California and here in New York, we think that we can scale quickly without much cost, such as in salaries, because we are willing to defer salaries and things like that.
Okay.
All right. Great job, team. Thank you very much. Judges, thank you for your questions. Team members, thank you for your thoughtful responses to those. Good job again.
Good job, guys.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Well done.